What's going on, guys, and welcome to my first impressions of Sabotage, the very first DLC for Infinite Warfare. Just dropped yesterday. I got a couple of games in, and I figured I'd give a little bit of a rundown of what I thought of the maps here so far. We have 4 new multiplayer maps, 1 new zombies map that I haven't got into yet, but yeah, guys, I'm excited for some new shit. The map you're seeing right now is Noir. It's tight, it's close, it's fast-paced. It's definitely the kind of map that I prefer. It's not large, it's more compact, not too many long sight lines. I played Domination on this map, and very quickly it kind of started to feel familiar. It wasn't one of those maps where I felt I had to navigate around a couple of times before I started to get comfortable. Very quickly I felt like I knew where I was at, I knew where I can go, and there wasn't too many surprises. I personally loved the setting of the map. It wasn't dark, it wasn't bright, so it's kind of a best of both worlds situation here. Each area is very distinct, it doesn't seem rehashed, and definitely keeps things interesting, and there's not an area on the map so far that I've found where it just kind of gives me that boring feel like I want to just rush through and get out. Because of the lack of long sight lines, I feel like snipers will have a heavy disadvantage on this map. I mean, regardless, we're going to run into them, we all know, but as I said before, it's more geared towards a close combat system. You're looking at your submachine guns, even your shotguns or your assault rifles, especially if you're getting in the middle towards B flag. Other than that, it's feeling very balanced. Of the 4 maps, this was definitely up there as one of my favorites so far. I've only done a couple of rounds on it, so I mean that could possibly change, but I definitely had a blast on this one. With that said, Noir definitely gets a thumbs up from me. I had a good time, and I'm ready to wreck anyone on it. Now next up we have Renaissance. Now right off the bat, I'm going to start by saying, personally, I am not a fan of this map. I can't pinpoint exactly why. Maybe it just doesn't feel comfortable for some reason. The flow seems a little bit off. I wasn't having a good time on it. Now, don't get me wrong, the map itself is really well done. It looks great. It's nice and bright, which I prefer the bright map, so it's kind of weird that I'm not a fan of it. Just something about this didn't excite me. As I was playing, I got almost bored very quickly. Like Noir, this map is condensed. It's not a large map. Now the structure of it, to me, feels like everything kind of funnels people towards B flag. There's not too much going on the outside. There's windows and doors, don't get me wrong, but just the whole layout kind of feels like it's forcing you into that center space. Now, my opinion could change. Maybe it's because the map's new, everyone's coming to the middle because they're trying to get used to it, but of the 4 maps, if I'm in a lobby and I have to choose, this one's just not going to get a vote for me. Something about it, I'm just not enjoying it. Now, take that with a grain of salt. To each their own, just my opinion here. I can't give it a thumbs up. Maybe my opinion will change after playing it a little while and I'll come around to it, but for now, I'm just not feeling it. Next up, we have my personal favorite of the 4 maps. It's Neon, and immediately when I spawned in, I knew I was going to love this map. It's nice and bright. There's long lines of sight for those who want to be a sniper rifle, but it's not restricting. You have your kind of tight areas, but at the same time, it's a very open feel. Each area kind of feels a little bit different. The buildings kind of play different on each side, and there's no real what feels like a middle to me. It's not as symmetrical as other maps, and I like that kind of difference. Now, I will admit I am more amused by the exploding blocks when you kill a person than I should be. That little detail is just something that kind of spices up the map a little bit. That and the regenerating cars and whatnot, just the Matrixy kind of feel is something that just gives a little kick, sets it aside, and it doesn't have the feeling of really any other map that we currently have. Aesthetically, I feel that Neon is the best map that we've received. It's beautiful, it's clean, and it's futuristic without having the dystopian ruin kind of feel to it. Now, so far I've only played Team Deathmatch on Neon, so I don't know any objective game modes where the captures are or where the flags would be. But getting into this right away, I had a comfortable feeling. I didn't feel out of place or feel overwhelmed by someone else that may have been on this map a couple of times. It just felt very intuitive overall. Long story short, Neon is sick. Thumbs up for me. It'll get a vote in any lobby I'm in, and if they keep pumping out maps like this, we'll be alright. Finally, we have Dominion, which we all know is a remake from Modern Warfare 2's Afghan. and the nostalgic factor of this map makes an instant classic an instant classic. Now, we all knew coming in that this would remain a sniper's paradise, and I can't even be mad about it, but with the added boost jumping and the wall running, it makes navigating this map a whole lot easier. And the transition from Modern Warfare 2 to Infinite Warfare, it wasn't awkward or anything like that. It seemed like a natural kind of map that fit perfectly into the mode and the mechanics of this game. The only problem I have with this map is it didn't provide us with one-man army and noob tubes. So getting your nuke is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I mean, it is still obtainable. Other than that, the map is still fantastic as it's always been. I'm hoping that when the nostalgia wears off, it's not going to continue to be a 6-on-6 snipe fest. So far in the couple of rounds I've played, it's been that more or less, but I mean, what'll you do? I feel like Modern Warfare 2 wasn't that long ago, and the fact that they're bringing maps back now for Infinite Warfare makes me feel a little bit old, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited. I put so many hours into those maps and memorizing those maps. I feel like if I'm playing them, I can't be fucked with. And I mean, if that's the case, bring it on. As always, guys, if you want to connect, if you want to become part of the community, you can find us anywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, all that shit at rogueexgamers. We're always willing to hear from you guys, and if you made it this far, if you watched the whole way through, we definitely appreciate it. Like and subscribe, but I'm going to get on out of here and get the last of this double XP.